to the 27th episode of Morning Coins with John and Chaz.
Wow. I
Wow.
don't believe we came this far.
I am your producer, broadcaster extraordinaire, and Chaz is our content provider, financial and technical assistance expert. And right now, I guess with our 27th episode, you're also a blockchain platform protocol and project expert
Yeah.
as well.
Well, expert, we'll see. I consider myself a novice, but I probably know more than a lot of other people know.
Right. I would guarantee that. Like people now, I love our show because it looks it across the entire blockchain community. Right?
Yes.
So a lot of people, they pick their coin, and that's what they go with as far as like working or finding a use case, and like building within that project. But
Yeah.
now traders are different, right? Traders are kind of like us too, where they look at all sorts of different projects and try to make decisions and things like that. But that's a little bit different. And this isn't
Yeah. And they're
necessarily.
looking for, traders are looking for profits in a short term perspective.
Yep.
And I understand that. I come to become more of a trader, but a long term trader. I'm not too concerned about use cases as much as the ability of something to go up, although use cases may have something to do with that.
Yeah, use cases are very important in blockchain just because oh, they become the bone of contention for developers as to whether or not certain things need to be on a distributed ledger,
Right.
right? And so it's just like, well, we don't need a use case for that because we have this, or we don't need that because we have this. So it's interesting, and so, but we are going to be talking about some coins, and we are going to be talking about some uh, prices and markets and things like that. So with doing that, we have to have a little bit of a disclaimer on why we're here.
Yes, and that disclaimer is that cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options trading involves substantial loss of risk of loss, that are not suitable for every investor. The valuation of cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options may fluctuate, and as a result, clients may lose more than their original investment. All investments discussed on this show are for informational purposes only and are not recommendations to buy or sell.
All right, thanks, sir. So with that, we're not gonna do into our slides yet. I want you to give a little bit of a soft intro on what we're gonna be talking through today.
Sure. Well, the history of this program, we're going to take just a quick, brief overview of each of the shows that we did with each of the platforms, and we're going to look at a news item. We're going to look at where they stand on market capitalization, if it's appropriate, and we're going to look at a chart to see, where the price has been and where it's going, maybe.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, so it's quick. I mean, I didn't delve into a lot of details on some of this stuff because let's face it, there's 26 slides that we have to go to, and so.
And I just want to let you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just tried to keep it simple. That's all.
And you did that. I just want to let you know that you did a remarkable job on putting this presentation together. We're still going through the transition of being on Vim and moving away from D Live, and so with that, there are still some VODs of previous episodes that are not available for use yet, but I just want to assure everyone that those will be available and added in an ongoing basis until we have the complete playlist up to episode 27 and where we are. So I will continue to make that available, and as I do, we make the show slides available during every episode, and they're in previous descriptions. But for this slideshow, you're going to want to take a copy of this slideshow because I'm going to go back and put the link for every episode attached to the coin that it is a coin, token, or project that it is specific to within this slideshow. So the link is down below in the description on Vim. You'll have to copy and paste it. I don't think it's active, but in the description on Steemit or SteamPeak or whatever browser you're using to look at this, it should be active. Just go ahead and copy that link, and then you'll have access to that presentation. I hope you guys liked our new logo and our new overlay. You guys are able to call in with that number or go to zoom.us at any point in the show and come in and say hi, or comment on anything that you're hearing. And what you either dial that number, you go to zoom.us, and then that room number, the 468-186-430, is what you use to get in. Enough of the housekeeping. Let's get to the content.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know you are. All
So
right.
the first slide, of course, is just a link to all the coins or platforms that we went through. So if you want to go take a look at their website, you can click on those and they'll take you there.
Are these in order of when we did them?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, no, they're not when we did them, but they're in the order of the slides we'll be viewing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
That was one of the things I had to sacrifice because of the amount of time I had to do it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's go right into it.
So this platform, Syndicator, I thought was really interesting. It's an AI and machine learning trading program. And one of the recent articles that we picked up was the average accuracy has remained consistently above 61%. I think that's pretty outstanding. I mean, if your accuracy can be at 61%, that means you have a 61% chance of having a profitable trade.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
You know, and as of this, the stats on this are from CoinMarket.
CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, CoinMarketCap.
Mm-hmm.
Their syndicator showing in the larger realm of things that they're at 153. So that's where they stand in capitalization. And there's just an outline there of, you know, the price. I think more importantly is the chart below that basically is reflected in a lot of different platforms right now. That it had a big jump and then, you know, sort of faded with time.
And what does that mean when you see that?
I just think it's, you know, if you look at the initial part where it actually takes a huge rise, that's the excitement about Syndicator. And then the downward slope on the other side is people saying, time to take my profits because I got in at a lower price.
Okay. And
then you had a repeat of that in a smaller level of increase, you know, possibly a news item or something happened, and then the decrease again. And I think the entire market from that point out sort of flattened out and didn't do anything.
Right, right. But then you can see there's a little bump that takes it from the red back into the blue later on.
Yeah, the on-balance volume has shown that there's a constant inflow into this platform of money.
Okay.
So there's money going into this. So I think the project's an excellent project. I know that some of the participants, you have to have a certain amount of money. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty significant to actually use the platform. But I think they're going to start to open that up to smaller investors.
And what is the link that you provided for the Medium article?
You're talking about the article at the top?
Mm-hmm.
The length of time? That's since inception, I think.
No, a year since Syndicator's token sale results, progress and plans. Is that different than the above 61 link?
Yeah, the bottom, yeah, you're going to see some disconnect between the 61% is their success rate
mm-hmm.
of their trading platform. So it's sort of unrelated to their price of the value of their coin.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Am I getting it right?
No, it makes sense. I was just asking, there's another link under that it looks like it's a link to a Medium article. I didn't know if that was...
So I put the headline there. Average currency has remained above 61%. And then that is the link to that article that talks about that.
Got it. Sorry, Chaz.
No, that's great. Good point. I don't want any mysteries here.
All right. That's Syndicator, you guys. Next one.
Ripple.
Oh my God, Chaz's favorite coin. All of the decentralists are going to come after us if we continue to talk about this.
I'm going to have to move. But this was one of the coins that we covered, and it has several times taken a run at Ethereum for second place and actually succeeded, but only for a short period of time.
But it succeeded, and that did not do Ethereum any good.
No. And Ripple is there's more stuff coming on Ripple. They had the article at the top, collaboration with PNC leads to a Ripple surge. I'm sure that had something to do with it, but they have 120 banks that they're working with at this point. I think XRapid is in the test net right now, so it's in operation. And I just think that this is a great opportunity. If you look at the chart below, you can see that the actual Ripple is beginning to move in the right direction.
Yeah.
And the on balance volume, it's taken a big jump.
Right.
North.
They're the only one that is able to surge and keep their momentum.
Yeah.
Even against the other top four.
Yeah, I have not looked at it today, but I believe that they are in a new era, and that you're going to see this thing actually make some progress here pretty soon.
They're up 0.63% today, so one of the biggest gainers so far this morning.
Yeah, I think they're solid. I think things are going to be happening for them.
All right. That's everybody's favorite.
Yeah,
centralized banking, according to Ripple.
Somewhere they have to meet. The two worlds have to meet.
It's inevitable if we want to change the right way.
Right. You can't,
and not just go straight to
the old system.
Right.
I
mean, let's be honest. If you try to ignore the old system and take it on, anyone who really tries to challenge that system is going to come under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure. So might as well try to do it the right way.
Right. And some of the things that, I keep hearing and reading online are that the larger players in the centralized market, the financial firms, are just gearing up to get involved in the blockchain. And I read an article yesterday. TD Ameritrade is opening a blockchain trading platform so that they can actually trade cryptocurrency. So here's a real mainstream brokerage trading firm, and they're going to be opening up to cryptocurrencies.
Right, and I think JP owns Circle, and Circle owns Poloniex.
Yeah, how about that?
So, what are you going to do, right? These guys, these people, they know what they're doing, so it's important that we kind of, I don't know, it's still interesting, right? Because there's still an advantage to this economy for not doing business as usual.
Yes.
We don't have to have fractional reserve banking anymore, and we don't have to do things where, we're losing out on opportunities to help communities to give loans because of, banks needing to make money.
Right.
So we just have to figure it out, though. And we have to do it the right way so that we don't have global economic collapse.
Right, and that's going to be a gradual shift. I mean, there are some people that are of the opinion that basically the centralized banking system, the handwriting's on the wall and it's over for them.
Mm-hmm.
That remains to be seen, but guys like Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, they're out there slamming cryptocurrencies, and on the slide they're buying it.
Right.
It's just manipulation is all it is. They're just manipulating the market.
They are. All right, so we have Stratus next.
Yeah, there's an article there that the United Kingdom signs deal with Stratus to use blockchains in online pharmacy industry. Uh, just another example of the mainstream moving to the decentralized platforms.
Gotcha. Okay.
Stratus is number 51 on CoinMarketCap. And their chart, a little bit longer chart, but it shows a lot of volatility. But in the end, it's following the market right now. But again, the on balance volume shows that there's money flowing into this project or into this coin.
Gotcha. I don't know a whole lot about this token still or this coin still.
Yeah, they offer simple, affordable end-to-end solutions for, let me read the little
So
description I wrote. For
the,
development, testing, and deployment of native C#.
so there's a little bit of an issue with your slide, Chaz.
Mhm.
The token that you have there, the token above is the status token, but the chart
Oh,
below is the stratus token.
that's what I wasn't wearing my glasses.
So I'll just
We
show
will
everyone.
repair that.
We'll repair it. We'll get it in there. But there is the current chart for stratus.
Yeah, that's the correct one.
It's okay.
We'll get that one fixed.
All right, what do we got next? Oh boy,
Dentacoin.
this was a fun episode. I like Dentacoin.
I think this is an outstanding project, and I'd like to see other medical industries adopt this. You have a project here which pays, let's say, customers instead of patients,
Mm-hmm.
customers to perform their preventative maintenance, and it pays the doctors for doing their job right.
Yeah. No.
And right at this point, they do not have their assurance plan in place, but it's coming.
Assurance, not insurance.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So there'll be part of their project is to have a way to pay for your dental. And I got to tell you, my experience with the medical field
Mm-hmm.
is not, I'm not real excited about them. I mean, I go to the doctor. I'm a little bit older, so I go to the doctor, and sometimes I get fed bullshit, you know.
Yep.
And one of those things is I have a pet peeve about cholesterol. Doctors at this point in the game, after all the research, still believe cholesterol is a causal effect in heart disease. And there's research after research study coming out of these prominent universities that say, no, that's not right. But my doctor is still promoting that. And I
That
told them,
cholesterol can cause is an indicator or cause of heart disease.
it's a correlational factor. It is
Right.
not a causal factor.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. But now they're seeing that cholesterol in people my age, a little bit older, actually is a good thing because it has a function in the body. It does.
Interesting.
I can't name them off the top of my head, but hopefully this type of system will force doctors into an arena where they actually have to deliver not the standard operating procedure that they normally do, but actually a thoughtful and concise analysis of what your health problems are.
And we came across a very interesting project when we were doing our smart media token discussion on the steaming pile. There's an SMT called Air Clinic that is really trying to address that issue. Now, I believe these doctors were based out of and operating out of Nigeria, but they want to put together a platform where they can have relationships similar to what you're discussing between patient and doctor, and where it's really on the blockchain and it's managed that way. It's a really neat project out there. So
Yeah, I'll just add something to my story was that um, I am more than a lab result. And I think doctors need to start understanding that there's a person that's behind all those lab results.
Yep,
And
that's
yeah,
true. And go ahead.
the last thing, John, I'll wrap my story up, is that I've been through stress tests, I've had EKGs, I've had all this stuff, and no one's ever found anything wrong with my heart, and my cholesterol is considered high.
Yep.
So
Yep.
somebody's got to start waking up and smelling the roses. Hopefully programs like Litecoin will be a success, and we'll get the proper treatment for the patient as well as affordable and preventative care. So I think this is one of my favorite platforms.
And one of the other things that it brings up, that it really brings to light when it comes to healthcare, and you mentioned it when you said I'm more than my test results, is the portability of medical records. So using blockchain to have portability of medical records where it more empowers the patient to do things is better, because these institutions, a lot of times they're able to keep people, whether it's insurance companies or hospitals, because, well, one, insurance in the United States is tied to employment, so people have to stay at jobs that probably some of them don't want to be at, because they don't want to lose, they don't want to or cannot stand financially to lose their insurance. But if there are
Right.
platforms out there that are actually seeking to reward providers for good care, give individuals access to their records, and make better health decisions for the on a person basis, then yeah, we should be all for it. And I think Dentacoin does start to do that. It's interesting, right? That what I think that's a good field to experiment in, because there's a lot of I think dentists have a little bit more flexibility than some of these larger health institutions and things like
Right,
that.
right. And I think that, the insurance companies our vested interests do not lie with the patient.
Mm-hmm.
And a good example of that is I went to the dentist. I had two different procedures done on the same day. They're similar procedures, but my insurance company said, well, because you had both of these done on the same day, we're not covering the second one.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the hell does that have to do with it? You mean if I waited till the next day, they'd pay for it?
Right. We could go. That's an entirely separate issue. The healthcare system in
Yeah,
America is an entirely separate episode.
I will leave that at that.
We'll
So
do that for a special steaming pile.
we should just cover like a medical industry thing.
Yeah, we can do a focus and try to find as many projects out there as possible on blockchain that are trying to do that. Because there's another one. The name of it is it's missing at the moment, but there's this girl in Lake North Carolina who has another blockchain project for healthcare, and I think she's a really well established doctor and things like that. So, anywho,
Yeah,
but listen, if you guys are listening, call in and say hi. It's going to be a little bit longer of an episode today, just because of the nature of Chaz and I and how we run things. But we're going to go to the next coin, and but yeah, call in, put stuff in chat. One, so I can make sure that my chat overlay is working on the next scene, and two, so we can say hi to you.
yeah, yeah, please.
All right, so Syscoin.
Yeah, look at this.
You even
Syscoin
put
hit
some
by,
fancy blue circles in there.
yeah. Well, that's their logo. They're hit by an attack on their wallet. Then the attackers illicitly obtained coins to Binance and sold them. They sent coins to Binance, pushing the price of Syscoin as high as 96 BTC.
Oh, too bad we missed out on that.
If we could just be there when all this happens.
Right.
So the link is there, for that article if you want to go read that link. But it shows there's still vulnerabilities in some of these systems, and there's things that have to be worked through.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw an article the other day where it's like there's like 4 different protocol layers for security, and most exchanges don't even meet 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
So
Yeah, they have to work through these things so they can recognize attacks. I know in the banking system, they have algorithms that will alert them to possible attacks on their system, and maybe Syscoin has that. but it seems to me that if they do, it was sort of slow.
What are those blue peas, the blue circle peas?
Those are, I couldn't get those off the screen, but those are candle patterns. They outline a candle pattern.
Okay.
So, it would tell you that it's a doji or, a bull or, coin pattern or something like that. So I tried to get rid of them, but I couldn't. So.
Okay. Anything else for Syscoin?
Just that it's a revolutionary cryptocurrency that offers zero-cost financial transactions like Bitcoin and gets hacked every once in a while.
I had no big deal.
Yeah, it's okay.
No big deal. Polkadot.
Polkadot is another one of my favorites. I think that their Polkadot POC 1 is proof of concept is now live.
Okay.
And they're designed to enable blockchains to scale, adapt, and communicate with each other. I think this is critical that we have interoperability between blockchains.
I think interoperability is huge because it's going to be one of the best ways to allow for decentralization, in all honesty, because it'll allow token holders from different chains to not only work together, but they can stake against each other and create partnerships within this platform if Polkadot is successful with what they set out to do.
Yes. I would think this is like the Skynet thing from Terminator, that once this goes live, that it'll open up so many doors and make the blockchain so much more powerful. Well, sort of like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, knock me down, kill me, and I become more powerful than you imagined.
Are you saying that Polkadot is the Force?
It could be. It could be. Or the concept, anyway.
Right.
But they have no token distributed yet, not till Q3 of 2019.
Well, we're going to hold them to that, and maybe since we like them so much, maybe we'll reach out to them and say, hey, when you do your token release or right before your token release, let's have you on the show.
Yeah, I would think so. I think it's a great program, and I'd love to hear more about it.
Okay, cool. Stellar.
This is actually a sort of a news item. This is not Stellar.
Oh, this is not a coin. Okay, gotcha.
But I sent you the email on this a while back that Stellar Term was closing down, and I posted that there at the top.
Yep.
And it says on October 1st, the web app in Stellar Term will no longer be available. And then lo and behold, October 2nd.
Here comes Lobster.
Right. We're dead. No, we're not.
No. We're taking over.
Yeah, it appears that Lobster has stepped up to the plate and said, no, we can't let this thing die. And they're moving in to help out.
See, that's the interesting thing about Stellar is that they have a big community too.
Yes.
So there are like when things like that happen, like when developers go and do something like this, right? After another team says they got to shut down and someone else steps up and look, if you're looking, it says iOS and Android wallets, they're looking at the phone market as well.
Yes.
So
this is I'm sort of happy about this because I thought Stellar Term was a great exchange, decentralized exchange, and I thought, wow, when they said they're going down, I thought, geez, that's terrible. What happened? And somebody else stepped up to the plate and saved the day. So I'm glad to see that. This is important that we have decentralized exchanges.
All right, very good. See, guys, even though he loves Ripple, he does believe in decentralization. So take that how you will.
Yeah, Ripple's it's a money play, right?
Yeah. Oh, the review network.
Yeah, I thought this is a great concept here, and they are, in fact, their coin is out there for purchase now.
Okay.
And so we put that in there to show that, you can buy the Review Network, and let's talk about the Review Network. They will produce reviews from trusted, I say trusted, I don't mean the blockchain is trusted, but people that are reliable to give reviews. They're going to have checkups on who's putting reviews in. They're going to try to cut out these companies reviewing their own products, and blowing them up out of proportion. So it's a decentralized network that's going to try and give you an actually good review on a product or service.
We should get a review. We should have them review our service of talking about their coin on our show.
I think so, because I think this is another thing that's, because I look at reviews a lot online, and I read them. And I know one time I read a review and on a book, and then I went to another website that had the book, and there was the same exact word for word review on that. I went to another website again for that book, and there was the same exact word for word review, and I said, something's wrong with this picture.
Yep.
Somebody's stuffing the ballot boxes, right?
Right.
So hopefully Review Network will be able to curtail that type of activity.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's neat. I think it's necessary. Because sometimes reviews can slam businesses. And I think we talked about that when we covered it the first time. They can slam businesses, if you have one angry person.
Right.
And it's fine for them to have their opinion and their feedback, but it shouldn't escalate like that. So That's interesting.
One thing I found was, and I do read reviews, and I read mostly the negative parts of the reviews because I don't want to hear the good stuff. I want to see what can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I told this story before. I was probably during our review of this coin, this platform, was that I had bought some, or was looking to buy a window crack repair kit. And so I'm reading the reviews, and there's one review that says, I put this thing on and I set it in my garage and the resin never cured. Well, it clearly states that you have to have it in the sun or have a UV light to cure it. And so it's like, that review should never have been on there.
Right.
It was obvious somebody that does not know how to read.
Right. I wonder if there will be something built into the protocol where other reviewers can do a review of the review. And if it's found to be fraudulent or, they didn't take into account certain considerations, that would be.
Right. I think there's a validators in this program that will be able to do that.
Okay. All right. What about, have you ever done any reviews of the airline markets?
No, because I hardly ever fly anywhere.
Gotcha. Well, Avanac is seeking to, really detail flights and things like that on the blockchain.
They're trying, and they're trying to bring together different industries within the aviation industry and have them work together more efficiently. No flying planes empty anymore. No begging for work from certain distributors, because they said there's only, for the corporate planes, there's only a few groups that actually sell the flights to these planes. So it's a way for them to schedule flights, have full flights, and keep busy all the time. And that's just part of it. It's a pretty enormous project if you look at the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking for strategy partners, and the first working prototype of real-world data on the blockchain, bringing Avanac token to major exchanges is another one of their goals.
That's interesting. I wonder if a good use case for them to start would be with the business flights, the private flight industry.
Yeah, I guess low-hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
People who are really struggling to get their planes full or used on a regular basis. I think that would be really a target market for them.
Yeah. It's interesting that they're looking for strategic partners. You would think that they not necessarily wouldn't be putting that stuff out there, but would be have those targets in mind and going and having conversations with those folks.
Right. And they would be able, and as I wrote a note at the bottom of the slide in my speaker notes, it says they're defragmenting the aviation industry.
Okay, that's cool.
So they're trying to bring all these parts together, like fuel suppliers and parts suppliers and pilots even. I need a pilot. Where do you get your pilot if you're, so, and on short notice, be able to get a flight on short notice and not have to plan for, months in advance.
And what are we looking at on the chart here with the blue lines and the stuff at the bottom? Like this it's from August through October.
I think one of those, and I can't read it on my slide because it's too small, but I think one is actually USD and one is Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, price, the green one's USD, Bitcoin's yellow, and then the blue line is market cap.
Yeah, which is moving in the right direction.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think this is a great use case project. My concern with it would be, how do you get everybody to participate? I know when you do a business plan,
mm-hmm.
One of the parts of the business plan is, who is your competition and what could go wrong with your plan? What are the possible, tripping up points for you on that plan? And I think one of those is other people developing similar projects. Because really, This will require a lot of participants for it to work right.
Sure. A lot of moving parts and a lot of industries would have to sign on board for that.
Right.
All right. Well, what about storage?
Okay, let's get to storage. Storage, another one of my good projects I like. They are, of course, a decentralized cloud storage project. And they obviously are making progress here. They're showing that they've got their bandwidth is increasing. They have fixed several bugs in the program, and some of the stuff I couldn't tell you what exactly they're talking about is, but they configured Jenkins to automate our binary builds. It helps them push the newest version out, uplink software to the alpha partners more effectively. So they're on the move. They're doing things.
I like that. Speaking of interoperability, storage would be an interesting blockchain to consider for smart media token platforms that do stuff like this, live streaming or sharing and hosting videos like DTube and things like that, because you could have a partnership with storage to run and manage the cloud storage on the blockchain and make sure it's efficiently delivered to users. But that stuff gets beyond me, so I don't know. And everyone wants to build and do their own thing, so interoperability to people sometimes is like, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to do it over here. So you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but in all this, the well-run and accepted projects are going to be ones that survive. The others are going to just die.
Yeah, and you'll see that. Like you'll have some of these, if they're good and they're right on, they'll either get bought by a large company that wants to adopt their platform, or they'll get bought by a competitor that will divest their platform.
Right.
That's just the nature of how it goes.
Well, yeah, it's conflict, right? It's like the creative destruction thing. You create something good and something else falls by the wayside.
Right. Or if they don't sell, like if communities or platforms or projects or coins don't sell or don't get acquired, then they can continue to run business as usual in what they're doing.
Right.
So. Orvium.
Orvium is another interesting project. I think this is long overdue. In the research and data business, where you're publishing your work, there's only a handful or less companies that actually do the publishing. Mm-hmm. Orvium is going to disrupt that whole outfit and say, we're going around you guys, and we're going to create a system where people can publish their work, get paid for it, and the people who use it have to pay for it, or maybe not, depending on what the originator of the research says. and they're going to be able to make more money, get their work distributed more widely, and it's just going to be a boon, I think, to the entire research industry, whether it be mathematics, medical, or science.
And I want this. I desperately want this project to be successful because I think it will help with cross research possibilities and opportunities among educational institutions. It'll empower instructors, researchers, professors, like you said, to have more control and ownership over their work. Um, and it'll also open up research to the public market. Currently, research is really only available if you're enrolled in an institution of higher learning. Whereas if it's on the open market, you have to pay a premium price to even look at a research article or download it, and people don't have access to it if they don't have a lot of money. And so there are, I believe it's like 5 or 6 global publishing companies own 80 to 85% of the research that is going around.
Yeah,
And without the public having access to it, that's a big problem.
yeah, it's dominated by a few people or a few groups,
Hmm.
and I think one of the things I would like to see them add, and we talked about this when we did Orvium, is failed experiments. You see the successful or peer-reviewed these projects that are successful or somewhat successful, but the ones that actually fail don't make it to publication because they're failures, right? They didn't prove what they thought, but the actual experiment they do or the research could be valuable to someone who's trying to do a similar project. It might save them a lot of time.
Hmm.
So you could have a bin where you say, hey, you might want to look at this because somebody's already been there and done that.
Right. You might want to look at the process they went through. They didn't necessarily able to prove their point, but you can expand on the process that they used to gather their data and conduct their experiment.
Right. I mean, it's a valuable information regardless of not whether it was successful and what you wanted it to be successful.
Yep. All right. Chaz's favorite.
Litecoin.
Cool.
You thought this was funny when I put it up there.
I did, and then I read, I read about it, and we were going through the show, and you're explaining it, and I'm like, you know what? And then you think about the movie Blood Diamond and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, okay, this actually might be worth it. But you just the name of it, right? Glitzcoin, and I just think of Hollywood and
Sequence,
yeah,
bling.
and right, bling, flossy, any word you want to throw in there, and I'm like, really? And then you hear about it, and you're like, okay, I can see how this can help the diamond trade, the diamond exchange, and to also create more ethical ethical partnerships for people that are actually mining them.
Right.
And we're talking like mining them with like getting them out of the ground still.
Yeah, the guys with shovels that are digging in the ground in these deep pits, barefoot, and because that does happen in this world, and
Yep.
hopefully that will help their lives a little anyway as well. I just some of the items that we listed at the top there. Successful completion of the ICO was in June. Diamond price estimator launched. I actually went on their site and used it. Pretty interesting. It'll give you a range of value for your diamond.
Really?
Yeah, and you have to know something about it, the cut, the clarity, a lot of different items there, the shape, but you can go on there and see what approximate value there is. I thought that was really cool. I love those things.
Okay.
And we're in October, Diamond Exchange test. So their Diamond Exchange is coming. They're going to be on the test net here soon if they're not already there.
Well, look at that. Just looking at I was just looking at the chart. Anything from the chart that we want to point out?
Outstanding on the chart.
Yeah.
I just think that, and I think what it was, these are going to be real diamonds only, not fake or synthetic. They're not going to handle synthetic diamonds.
Good.
So
They shouldn't.
well, the thing
Should they?
is that Like synthetic diamonds would be like cubic zirconia.
Right. Is there a market for synthetic diamonds? I mean, can't you just buy those anywhere?
Well, here's the thing. I always thought they were the same. Synthetic diamonds actually are real diamonds. They are made in a laboratory, and they actually, if you don't have the right kind of equipment, specialized equipment, you can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So to differentiate between the two, synthetics are real diamonds, but they're made in a laboratory, and fake diamonds are like cubic zirconia and things that aren't made of diamond material.
Yep. Yep.
But cubic zirconia has a use all on its own, right? They're
It
beginning to
does?
make dental caps out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. See? You're like, yeah, we have this product. No one really likes it to put around their rings anymore. Let's see what we can do with it.
yeah. I mean, it is hard. It is hard stuff. So
Yep. Yep. All right. Ontology. On to ontology.
yes, Ontology, a new high-performance public multi-chain project, trust collaboration platform, and they have announced a cooperation with Top Network to build a communication network ecosystem.
Did you say high performance public multi chain project?
Did I say that?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, yeah, that's hyperbole is high performance, right? I mean, who would call their project low performance?
We run a low performance blockchain solutions problem that aims to increase effectiveness of lazy people all across the entire world.
Yeah, it's marketing always kills me. It's like, would you ever say it was bad? No, you wouldn't. The
Now,
marketing department.
do you know how this would be different from Polkadot? Because when I hear multi-chain, I hear interoperability. So, is that the
Uh,
same? Is it different? Do you know?
it encourages trust between projects of all different technologies and sizes with different business scenarios and compliance requirements to pass. So this is more business oriented.
Hmm.
It's a distributed trust network.
A strategic cooperation with the top network to build a communication network ecosystem at the blockchain application level. And Ontology Global Capital is going to make investments into Top.
Right. Yeah. We're going to put some ontology coins in there.
Okay.
But it's interesting to see that they're number 23 on the market cap.
Yeah, they made some. Yeah, they made some big gains in August.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah. So they're, again, the use cases, people have to believe in the use case, and a lot of these platforms require you to own their token or coin in order to participate.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. What's next?
What's
Oh,
next?
see show 26 for more info.
Yeah, actually, John, I went on and tried to pull the link for that show, and it was not available.
What?
Yeah, I went on. It was on Steam, right, and I went there and tried to open the video, and it would not open because
D
the
Live?
link. Well, it was a D Live, yeah.
Oh, I thought I uploaded that episode, and I know you asked me for it, and I did not get it to you, so I will get it to you.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, for anybody that's really interested in the Manna project, which is a universal basic income, and the next slide, of course, is showing how my wallet has performed recently. Is you can sign up, get validated, and receive income from Manna. And it's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a multi-level marketing. There is a referral project or referral system involved. So if you refer somebody, you get a bonus for that. But it's not linked as far as what they make, you make. And I think people should get involved in this because let's face it, even if you don't want the money, you can send it somewhere else and give it to somebody who does.
Hmm. And they are a 501c3, so donating to them.
That's what this project's all about. Is my And I didn't get to ask this question when we had the guys on from Manna, but I was wondering how places where people have limited access to the internet, how they would plan to help them.
Right, and I would be interested in that too, because we had a great discussion with Joseph Savage from Steam Basic Income on the steaming pile, and his is more of a volunteer driven where you enroll other people, but it really is helpful for people that are in other countries. And when they were going through the hard fork 20 stuff, there were people that were affected that were part of that Steam Basic Income platform, with not being able to post right and not getting upvotes and not being able to get the SBI that they were used to getting. So access is definitely an issue, but two interesting ways on where people have phones, they don't have computers. So
Right.
if the better you can get a lot of this stuff done via phone, the better that you can help people in other parts of the globe with what they need, and continuously bridging that gap, with the income divide.
Right. And possibly a part of this project as it advances maybe, look, join Manna, get a phone, and collect your income.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yep. And the links to Chaz's link and my link are in the stream info on Vim and in the description on SteamIt or SteamPeak, whichever one
Yes.
you guys use. So go ahead and pick one of us. Oh, pick one of us. Click on our link, and we'll get a direct referral.
Yes, and we'll get referral, we'll get an increase, and maybe we'll be able to jazz up this show or maybe donate it to somebody.
Now we have a new lower third. That's jazzy.
That's true, we do.
We also have a space in our camera and slides area. Now some people are averse to advertising, but I think that this space right down here would be perfect for someone's Steam project, whether it be a DApp or a show or a platform or a witness that you were wanting to vote for, or a radio project. It'd be perfect down there. We could negotiate a nice, easy price for that space. And I don't think it would be that offensive to folks because you'll have the chat overlay above that. And it's just a nice spot. And we go to it a couple times during the show. You guys should consider it. But while we're here on this slide or on this scene, XYO is the next slide that is pulled up.
XYO is, hang on, let me get to the XYO.
It's the DApp breakthrough the world's been waiting for. XYO and Portis to connect locations and users directly to the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes, there I am, I got it. I thought this was cool because one of the use cases was hospitals. Someone's taking a reading on a machine. Let's say it's an electrocardiogram or blood pressure or some other type of measurement of the body. That can actually be directly sent to their computer system, to their record keeping system from the machine. They'll know what machine it came from, and they'll know, of course, who was sending it, who did perform the test, if there was tests being performed. It would help eliminate human error.
Right.
By sending data directly to where it was, a record recording area or a data bank.
Would you say that this is a coin that could be applied to like supply chains as well?
I think anything.
Gotcha. And these guys had if I remember correctly, these guys had a lot of like use cases that they were considering for attaching to this platform.
Yeah, anywhere that there is a device, they said they'll be able to locate it. I think one of the comments was that GPS is gone. This is going to take over.
Interesting.
No, so it's like decentralization of locating things because we need the government's GPS satellites in order to locate where we're at, but now we wouldn't need that with this.
Right. Anything else from the chart?
Nothing spectacular there, but we do see that it has performed lately better.
Yeah, they had a good run in middle of September.
Yeah. And I've seen advertisements online. They pop up on when I'm surfing for XYO.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you know what? I think I have too. Now that you mention it.
they're uh, they're getting exposure.
All right. Rubius. The
Yeah, I
next
just like
generation of banking has arrived.
yes, wallet and exchange. I like this project. Um, it protects your funds from rapid value loss because when you send, you can keep your money or your funds in your currency of your choice, whether it be an altcoin token or fiat currency. And then when you want to send it, you pick the currency you want to send, and it will convert it and send it automatically.
That's interesting.
So you could use US dollars as your storage in your wallet, and when
Mm-hmm.
you're ready to send, it'll convert it over to, you know, let's say, convert it over to Rubius, and send it that way. Ruby, I think they call it Ruby is what they call their coin.
Okay.
And so I thought that's a great idea because now you have a place where you can put your money in what you consider to be the stable funds and not worry about fluctuation. And then just say, I want to send Ethereum to somebody. You hit the button, it converts your US dollars or whatever your coin or money of choice is and sends it in that form, in Ethereum.
That's interesting. So you could also have, like, if your token or coin of choice was Bitcoin, that could be your major storer of value. And then, but you can, if someone wants to get paid in Ethereum, or if you want to send people Steam, then you might be able to do it that way through that platform.
Yes. So I thought that this is a great concept to use because it gives you control and it gives you automatic control. And I'm thinking this wallet also, and I can't remember this, I didn't check this, but I think, you can do automatic payments.
Okay.
And one of the biggest things in the banking industry that I ran into when I was in banking was people would come, they would call a company and say, you know what, I don't want your service anymore, cancel it. They would send a letter, and months later they're still paying for the service. And they're like, how do I shut this thing off? And it's like the company would keep deducting funds from their account because basically it's to their advantage to do that. And on Rubius, you can do that yourself. You can set up the automatic payment from the wallet
Yeah.
and then shut it off when you're ready to shut it off.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you can also see that they're adding stocks, ETFs, other tradable assets, and then they're going to do smart escrow couple quarters after that.
Yes, I think that what we're seeing here is the demise of the centralized exchanges.
Would it
You
also
know,
be the demise of centralized banking?
I think I think it will be diminished.
Okay.
I don't think it'll go away.
Okay.
I mean, we'd have to do away with the Federal Reserve Bank. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Dang.
Um, One other thing I would add to that is, earlier when we started the show, I was talking about TD Ameritrade starting up a blockchain trading platform.
Right.
And I could see them taking that blockchain platform and moving all their stock trading and options trading over to it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know what their fees are going to be, but compared to doing a decentralized exchange, the fees on platforms like TD Ameritrade and others,
Are
they're
ridiculous. They
expensive.
they create barriers to entry for people that don't have a whole lot of money that might just want to trade back and forth.
Right.
So,
So
all right.
I just see this as someplace where the major players are going to end up anyway.
Gotcha. So the
What?
next one, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. What's the next one?
The next one is one that I really am interested in, and I really want to see if there's a way for the basic attention token to work with Steam or with some token on the Steam blockchain.
Yeah, it would be interesting because this is another one that I thought had a lot of potential, but you have to use that Brave browser,
I know, I know.
and I haven't tried it yet. But my thing is, you're going to have to get wide acceptance of the Brave browser in order to make this game work.
Yeah. But it could change the narrative of advertising, right? Where an advertisement might come from a show like ours, or an advertisement might come from, someone else's business that they're just getting off the ground rather than seeing advertisements of, companies just hammering the market because they have a ton of money.
Right. Yeah, and it's going to give you more what targeted things that you're really interested in.
Right.
Not just throwing everything at you to see which one you like.
Yep.
And so that would require a little bit of responsibility on the advertiser's part as well as the Brave platform.
Yep, and like you said though, you have to accept a browser, and that'll be difficult, right? Because you don't know if that browser like has VPN technology built into it, or and if there's, we hear all the stories that we've talked about with exchanges not being secure. Who's going to be able to manipulate the vulnerabilities of the browser?
Right. Yeah. All good points. Although if you notice, Mark, it's number 44 in the coin market cap.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's not bad. They got enough out there that they can make a case for what they're doing.
Good. I think I'd like to have those guys come on and talk about their browser and see if there's some kind of further conversation we can have on that.
Yeah, I would. Because I'd like to ask them a few questions.
Monero,
Another one I like a lot.
the mystery
Monero.
coin.
Yeah, digital wallet privacy coin. Introducing the Monero malware response work group website.
These guys and their terms. These guys and their terms.
Yeah, but I like the idea that they're ready to put up a battle against malware.
Mm-hmm.
And try to protect the wallet. I think a lot of people depend on their blockchain platform structure to do all that. There needs to be an active participation in actually defending these blockchain platforms.
Gotcha. And that's interesting. I wonder why they would take that on as a project. The malware space.
Well, it could be proactive thinking, or it could be a response to attacks.
Yeah. And my thing is, are they going to offer that up as a third party to other coins, protocols, and platforms?
Maybe it might be, because they could, they definitely could build a protocol for protecting wallets.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Nothing new on the coin front there. They're number 10, which is good.
And then I hope everyone likes our new logo. We wanted to just kind of represent the flavor of what we did on the show, which is talking about a lot of these different protocols, platforms, and projects. And so we included Monero. I had a little bit of a, do we really want it? Because it makes the Monero logo look like really prominent, even though it's not the same color and the colors are not the same and they're switched. But I hope you guys like the logo, because we had a more like the Syndicator C was in there, and the Stratus S was in there, and it looked really convoluted. So we just kind of came down to, we wanted to do Bitcoin. Ethereum is up there, so we put them on there. We definitely wanted to represent Steam since we broadcast on that blockchain. And then it was like, let's do one other, and that the M for Monero just seemed to be kind of the best fit. So hope you guys like it. That's all.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, evolution of the logo could be possible.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And with our friends over at Master Collective, if you check them out on Steam at Master Collective, or if you just look up Master Collective at Gamer Haven, we want to thank them for the work that they did to help getting those lower thirds ready for us for this show.
Yes, thank you, Master Collective.
All right, Hedera Hashgraph.
Yeah, it's a platform that you can just build the apps on, and some of the headlines here I put in Tachyon Tachyon to build its transactive cybersecurity platform on Hedera Hashgraph. Interesting. So they got people. They're coming. They built the machine and they're coming.
Ha, yeah.
So they're going to build a super fast transactive distributed ledger on top of our cybersecurity fabric stretching across billions, then trillions of interconnected things. Wow. Trillion. We're talking big numbers here.
We're talking big numbers, but how are they doing anything different than what's already being done?
Good question. Evidently, Tachyon has found Hashgraph to be a secure and viable platform. And again, what we talked about earlier was some of these things are going to shake out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's right. And they could be building on concepts from previous tokens and projects and coins, and so right. I shouldn't discount them so swiftly. We need to we need to underpin that some of these people are competitors and some of them are complementers, and we really don't know how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, and I think though, if I remember our show correctly, Hedera had a really strong um, platform for speed and safety and
And, and
security.
and that's where people are going right now. If you can provide speed as far as like the speed of transactions, safety and security as far as being able to hold on to your stuff and have little to no loss or risk, those are the platforms and projects that are going to win. You're not saying anything else, so I'm assuming we're going to the next one.
Yeah, go to the next one. Yeah, I was just trying to
Oh
finish
yeah, Coinbase.
going.
I think Coinbase is trying their best to be a good US model for helping bring us slowly and surely into the crypto future.
Yes, they have their feet on both sides of the fence, and they I've heard rumors that they're going to bring on another 45 coins or more.
Well, and did you see they're offering bundles now?
Yes, I saw that.
So though you can get a bundle of coins, so Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, current
And you said
offerings.
mutual fund?
Right, right. Well, exactly. And they are targeted at people that they're targeted at people that are just getting in the game.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a more seasoned tech person and you understand the crypto space and all that kind of stuff, there's no need for you to go to Coinbase unless
Right.
you want to attach it to your bank and do it
I,
some way. There's no need.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a way to get to a decentralized wallet exchange and move my stuff there.
Right.
So I can have it all in one place. I mean, having several different places where you have your investments is just, it's
It's too
crazy.
much. Right. It's too much. Too many passwords and all that stuff to remember.
Well, yeah, and keeping track of it too.
Right.
See, you get some of my platforms send me a statement, others don't. I have to go looking for it, and it's like,
Yep.
I'd rather have it all in one place.
So if you're new to the game and you're seeing this on one of our G1NBC pages or one of our Twitter accounts, or you're just watching the VOD and you don't have any crypto, download the slideshow on wherever you found this video. Go to the link, or the link is in the description on Vim and on Steemit or SteamPeak. Click on that link. You buy $100 worth of tokens that you get to keep, and they're on your Coinbase account. We get $10 in Bitcoin, and so do you, for free. For free. So that's for novices and intro to getting involved in this market, in this field, in this space?
Yeah, and Coinbase has added they have Coinbase Pro, I think now.
Yeah, it's either Pro or Premium, and they also have Coinbase Commerce for business.
Yeah, they have a lot of different sections or departments in there, but they do offer good charting. So you can use that, or as many of these charts we looked at today, TradeView really has, I think, an outstanding charting program and analysis. So you might want to check them out as well.
Okay. All right. So next up, I think we need to go through these with some rapid fire, just because we've been going for a little while.
Okay. Yeah,
So we
we're
need to
about hour
dash.
right now.
We need to dash through the rest of these.
Okay, so new cryptocurrency exchange furthers Dash integration into Venezuela. Just another example of the crypto market expanding. Dash is number 12 on the market cap lineup. And their platform, well, I mean, the pricing pretty much taken the same direction as most of the other stuff in the market.
Yep. Match pool.
Match pool, they finding groups and people to belong to, but they're also starting a hedge pool. Use Match Pool to launch a hedge fund.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Does that mean that crypto holders can create their own hedge fund of different tokens, or people can create their own different funds?
That's a good point. I don't know what the criteria is on that. I know that I have once was in the beginning formation with another guy to start a hedge fund, and there's a lot of criteria involved, certain dollar amounts. I don't know if they're going to adhere to certain securities rules or if they're just starting out a different type of program altogether.
Gotcha. All right, Gollum.
Gollum, still quietly progressing despite radio silence. And
does that mean that no one's talking about him?
Yeah, that means nobody's talking and they're not talking.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Etherem is a cloud storage project. So it's you sign up, you store other people's information on your computer, and they use your computing power.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's sort of like storage. It's a very similar project, but I like it. I think it's a great project for decentralized storage.
And I like what you have down here, the little note. It was like, it'll certainly be interesting to see how the Gollum marketplace turns out. What's to stop whales from hoarding all the CPU power and then selling it off at a higher price?
Yes. Once again, when decentralized becomes centralized or larger players start to manipulate the market, something's got to be done.
Yep. Very good. Maker.
Integration.
MakerDAO.
Yeah. So this is a blockchain comprised of stablecoin for collateralized loans, and let me get the rest of this here, and decentralized governance. There is a red line on that screen on the chart.
Mm-hmm.
This is not based on price here. This is based on percentages, and you can see that it actually being a stable coin, it sort of dropped below Bitcoin. That's a Bitcoin on the red line.
Oh, gotcha.
So they've actually fluctuated downward more than Bitcoin.
Well, they're not really achieving what they set out to do then, is that right?
Yeah, that was my take on it. Yeah.
Well, that's enough for Maker then. Monarch. Yeah. I love the name. It's just
another wallet. So they picked up another partner, GoChain, and they're also working on bringing on retailers so that you can actually use this with different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the red line on there as well. It looks like they're much more stable than Bitcoin. You watch Bitcoin go up and below and up and below and up and below.
Okay.
So I like Monarch, one of my favorite ones.
Oh, there you go. See, if they just listen to the little things that you say about each one, they kind of know where you stand.
Yeah.
I made you do Cardano. And I
Cardano
think now
launches.
you like Cardano.
I do. I like the project. I like what they're trying to accomplish. I know they've taken some slaps from certain people, but I think that in the end, the Cardano project is going to work out. And so they launched the Rust project to entice third-party developers. They're trying to bring in more developers.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So it's currently Cardano, a proof of stake blockchain. It's centralized with all its blocks being produced by one, their partners, IOHK. But the project hopes to change that in Q1 2019.
Okay. And I know we're going to have a Cardano, well, we're going to have a Cardano aficionado in a couple weeks. So we're going to do a Cardano review.
Excellent.
And then, yep, and I have another announcement on another one we're going to have in November.
That would be awesome. Stellar. I thought this was an interesting project. Move money quickly across borders, reliably and for cheap.
And this one we talked about earlier with the news note that you had with the Stellar team going and LOB STR taking over. Like these guys have some developers. There's a lot of momentum on this project.
It's interesting to note that, you know, that the Stellar Term project is actually a separate project from Stellar, but that they're using the Lumen as their base cryptocurrency.
Right, right.
And I thought that was interesting. I like Stellar. I like these decentralized wallets, and I'm hoping to find one that will meet all my needs.
That has every project that you're interested in having tokens for.
Right. Yeah. I don't have a lot of projects that want to be involved in, but I want to make sure they're all in one place. So we'll see what happens.
I'm with you. All right. And then we're seeing there's an ascending triangle.
Yes.
Do a little technical analysis.
Well, we could be seeing an upturn. That's a very bullish triangle there. So we could be seeing an upturn in Stellar Lumens.
Okay, very good. Next up. Oh, that's it.
That's it, bud.
Hey, Chaz, you did such a great job at putting this together. I see you're stretching because you're down in the home stretch. Yeah. So we have Cardano. We're going to do a Cardano revisit. I don't know what we're going to do next week. Maybe we'll pick a simple one.
Yeah.
And get that out. Do you want to do Friday again?
Yeah.
Friday morning. Good. So we're gonna do this again, you guys. Friday mornings on Vim. Check us out. We usually go for 45 minutes. This is a little bit longer of one today because we wanted to do a review of all our other episodes and projects. Like I said, I'll get the links to all those in this presentation. So if you're watching on VOD, just download the link wherever you see it for the slideshow, and then those links will just be added regularly as I get those uploaded to the platform. Cardano in a couple weeks, and then we're going to have to pick a Saturday morning, and we're going to do a crossover show with the Steaming Pile, because we're going to have Josiah from Digibyte come in. I think he's second or third in command in Digibyte, and we're going to do a Digibyte overview and talk with him live.
Oh, good, because I had the Digibyte slides all done.
Cool. So I'm excited. That should be early November. It was just with my Saturdays, that's what's really the problem, is a scheduling issue for after tomorrow, the next 3 Saturdays. So we're going to find one in early November and do that. So stay tuned for that, everybody.
Okay.
And then check out Chaz and I and our links for G1 NBC. I'm in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. He's in Genesee County, Michigan. And we now have I have the Vim player uploaded to my site there. And Chaz is going to get his later. So even if you're not on Steam, you can watch our show there through the Vim TV player. We're very happy to be part of that network on Steam, and very happy to have the support of people on Steam for our show.
Excellent. Very good.
All right, Chaz, good show. We're going to take it out with a little happy rock from bensound.com. And we'll have a new song from them next episode.
Yeah, we're going to have some upbeat, some good hard rock rumble music.
Bam. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day.